Welcome to Amazon Savage's podcast. I'm joined with Jameson and Taylor Jones a second time again. This is Hookah edition. We're out here in the middle of nowhere in New York, and it's an honor to be with these two. Taylor Jones has he corrected me last night, $50K profit over the last 30 days. And we got Jameson, what do you made, a couple thousand profit?
Not even.
Jameson's a veteran. He's been doing this for 23 years now. 15 plus years, and Jameson primarily goes into places like Walmart, and I won't give away all his sources, but he finds items on the shelves, flips them for a profit. Taylor Jones started that way, but now does more wholesale, online arbitrage. Taylor Jones travels the world. So welcome back, boys, and let's get into it.
Run it.
So I promised that we would talk about Q4 strategies, so we'll pick up there where we left off. Do you guys have anything else to say about Q4 in terms of, I guess, you know, the specific reach to general is what I've heard. So, like, if you want to give your specific strategy, it might help somebody out there with, you know, their philosophy too.
I think first we should give a shout out to this Airbnb, because I have never stayed in an Airbnb where there's a freaking hookah, a telescope, a gym. And
we're sorry about the fireworks that we.
And we just lit off about $200 of fireworks.
Hey, let's cut in me holding the thing. We'll cut that in real quick.
Oh man, this has been awesome. So stay tuned, guys. Hopefully we're gonna be having another a little upstate New York event.
And I'd say this is pretty cool for me and you, because we started like in a shithole Airbnb in Miami. So it's kind of like to be able to put our profits towards like a nice Airbnb it's a good feeling, because we were back with the cockroaches out in Overtown, Miami. And that's actually where we planned Miami Sellers Conference, was at that Airbnb.
Yeah.
So.
But okay, yeah. So Q4. You want to go first, Jameson? For like specific strategies, you ready?
Yeah, like specific. Like, I could go first if you guys want.
Well, I'll just talk about. I'll talk about what we talked in the car.
Or no.
So.
Go ahead.
So one of the things that Jameson doesn't do a lot of MF, which I was surprised. I feel like that's MF in December and in November. I feel like is a huge opportunity to make quick money.
Why don't you do MF? Is it just because your prep center doesn't, or adds complexity, and you're just like, what I do is working?
Yeah, I'm always on the go, and like I'm not set up to do merchant fulfilled. And one of the main reasons I don't do MF is like, if I'm not going to sell hundreds of units, I don't think it's worth doing MF. Because every time that I find a product where I can get like 10 or 20 units of a product that's really good, and I sell it, I end up having one or two issues every single time, and then I get your account's at risk for deactivation because you get one complaint, or like, so it's like if you're not consistently selling, hundreds of products, I don't think, for me, in my point of view, it's like I don't think it's worth it.
You're a little scaredy cat when that item defect rate pops up.
Yeah, but I just like to keep things simple.
Avoids
honestly.
Risk. Definitely
I like to keep things simple, honestly. Yeah. Like I try to minimize stress and hassle in my life. Like that's more of my goal in life, is like to have the least amount of hassle, the least amount of stress, and like the most amount of enjoyment. So it's like I just try to keep things very simple.
Yeah, and I think that's a concept in business, like simple scales. Mm-hmm. If you don't keep it simple, when you go to scale, like the complexity that you've created just falls apart.
Yeah, but I think for Q4, I think having an MF strategy, especially like you can't send more stuff in December. Like you can, but you're not going to get it checked in until January. So a lot of the time, the demand is so high in December that a lot of ASINs run out of stock. And if you're doing even RA or OA with websites
put your thumb over
that you can get 2-day or 3-day delivery. So like for example, I was talking about these Bonnet Mamans. It was a jelly advent calendar. I was getting them for $40, 20% off, so about down like $35, and selling them for $70 plus. I bought 200. I spent like, I don't even know, $5 or $6 grand. They were all there, and within 2 days, I listed them MF, crazy sales rank. They all sold, and I spent 5 or 6, and I made like 2 or 3 in a couple days.
Yeah.
And I, all those orders came in, had them all boxed up, shipped out. The price tanked 4 or 5 days later. It was a very small window of opportunity. I made my money, I got in, and I got out. The best thing about that opportunity is there's a 30-day refund policy. So if I bought all of those, and when they arrived, the price tanked, I just drop them off at the local store that I bought them from and return them and get all my money back. It's zero risk. Mm-hmm. So I think that's a huge opportunity that you're not going to see throughout the rest of the year is to do this MF stuff. With FBA, it's much harder to take advantage because, like, if you buy 500 units, by the time they get in, maybe it takes 2 or 3 weeks. A lot of SKUs take 2 or 3 weeks to get into Amazon and sell.
Are you going to try to stock up in October at all?
For
Q4?
Black Friday, I will. Black Friday, I'll definitely stock up.
Are you going to buy a lot on Black Friday?
Oh, yeah. Last year, I wish I spent more money on Black Friday, like looking back. But that's my Q4 strategy, a specific strategy. I think MF is a good opportunity. But, okay, Jameson, what about you? What do you look at?
I continue. I mean, I run my business just like I'm running my business today in June, July, August. I run my business the exact same way in Q4. Like, I'm not changing anything. But one thing I will add too is that a lot of stuff will still continue to sell after Christmas. A lot of people are getting money, gift cards, Amazon gift cards, and I would say January is probably my third best month of the year in sales.
Really?
No, it's November, December, January, my three best months of the year. So January, my sales are still sky high.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Because everybody's still spending their leftover money,
Right.
or they're returning one gift and then using money to buy another gift. So like I still can do good, and like so there's some toys that I was able to make some money on last year that I looked at Keepa, where Amazon didn't sell out during Christmas, but they sell out in January, and so I can get prepared for that in some cases. But the velocity is still pretty good in January. Everybody's still in that spend mode, and they're still spending money. And
like also people's stocks are kind of going down. Like after Q4, I think a lot of people fire sell. This is like my first Q4 was like my last Q4 was my first Q4 selling products other than books, but. Just like in textbook season, everybody fire sells like the 4th week of textbook season, like right before September. And a lot of times you see the price of stuff go down and then it recovers slightly.
You see the sellers drop off like crazy because they want to sell it before Christmas and get their money back. But yeah, I mean, there's so many different strategies you can do for Q4. It's like, who's to say whose is the best and the worst? Like, I mean, some people may not agree with my strategy. Like, I'm still going to make money and I'm happy with the way things go. Like I said, I'm very simple the way I run my business. I'm keeping it simple. I don't overstress. It's honestly, it's not very good strategy to share with others, but I mean, I'm going to probably do 1.5. I may get into 1.6 million this year, but I keep shit simple as possible. By myself for the most part. I got my girl to help me sometimes, and my prep center that does some of it, and I honestly don't try to oversimplify and overcomplicate things.
Yeah.
If I can get...
That's a contradiction.
Yeah.
Yeah. You don't try to overcomplicate.
Yeah, I just try to keep things as simple as possible and easy as possible. I just don't want to deal with stress, and my life is just very relaxed and
100%.
Want to just be happy.
Do you? Because I know Taylor, you kind of have like big goals in terms do you see yourself doing like multi-millions in the future? Yeah. Like next year and the year after? Do you want to be like a $2, $3, $5 million seller?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
I know I can hit 10 million. For me, it's like but I'm also not rushing there. Mm-hmm. I know that really the only thing stopping any one of us is getting serious funding. Any one of us could do it. You probably we all have people in our network, or banks, or we could find ways to get funding. The thing is like, are you going to take the funding and use it correctly and not set yourself back? If you take $250,000, you could hurt yourself. There's a lot of people that have gotten screwed over by over leveraging.
Right.
So I'm not
Jameson on the A to Z.
Yeah.
You got screwed a little bit.
Definitely over leverage myself.
So I'm not rushing there, but I expect everything I do to double like year over year. I think that's a really reasonable expectation.
Yeah. So let's talk a little bit more about that. So like what your long-term goal is with Amazon, both of you, like what do you see y'all's future as? And like, do you plan on eventually maybe not exiting, but winning the game in the sense that you have so much money that you could retire if you wanted to?
Yeah. I mean, I feel like for me, like I would love to scale. I think it's interesting, like as you scale, dynamics change. I think running a $5 million Amazon business comes with it a lot of different Yeah, just got James totally out.
See you later.
Look, running a $5 million Amazon business, I'm sure, is like way different than a 1 million or 10 million, right? So if I get to, let's say that I scale to 5 to 10 million, and I'm like, damn, this is actually more stress than I thought.
Yep.
Let me try to rebuild and so that it's less. But who knows? Maybe I'll get to 5 and actually like 3 is a sweet spot. I want to find that sweet spot to where I'm making 500, a million, 500,000 to a million a year. Like, I think I know I can do that.
How much more stressful is it now that you're doing like 200K a month versus before what you're doing like 60K a month? Is it more stressful now or less stressful?
I think stress is relative. So like the mistakes are bigger. If you're placing $60,000 orders on 2 to 5 ASINs and one of those ASINs gets blocked or something, like, I think it's all about mitigating risk. If you can take on more risk, so you can scale and make more money, but also mitigate and spread out what you're doing so that, like right now, I never spend more than $10,000 on an ASIN.
Mm-hmm.
So like there was an ASIN that I almost got. They did a review of my inventory, and I thought for sure that I was going to get blocked on that ASIN. But I was thinking about spending $30,000 on that ASIN, and I was like, I'm only going to spend 10 right now. And so I went across 5 or 6. I think don't be stupid and mitigate your risk.
How much stock would have been 30,000? Like how long of stock would that have been?
Like a month and a half.
Okay.
So to answer your question though, is it more stressful?
You mind covering that up real quick?
Yeah, I don't think it's not more stressful if you're being smart about it and you're mitigating your risk. I think,
Yeah.
at least in my experience.
Yeah.
As long as you mitigate your risk. I don't know. Do you feel like it's more stressful for you compared to like 3 or 4 years ago?
I would say it's easier now. Like, it's just more like natural. Like, a lot of times I don't have to put too much thinking into what I'm doing because I've been doing it so long that it's just like, in a sense, like turning on and off a light switch because it's just so repetitive. Like I know where to go, I know what to find, I know what to do, I know, for the most part, know how much to buy, and it's just a rinse and repeat kind of cycle. Mm-hmm. And then just reinvest the profits, buy more inventory, buy more inventory, buy more inventory.
Yeah.
That's pretty much what I've been doing. All my cash, just reinvesting back into more inventory.
Yeah. Do you want to do like a $5 million year or?
As of today, I have zero desire to sell $5 million a year. I'm 100% happy where I'm at today. Now that could change tomorrow, where I get more aspirations, like to get better systems in place and get employees and stuff like that. Like all my friends that run $5 to $10 million Amazon businesses, they have the most just crazy systems in place, and everything is
especially your friends, because your friends are doing a lot of RA.
Like I have
that blows my mind that someone could run
I have one of my good friends. I think he's shooting for 10 mil this year. I went to his warehouse. This warehouse absolutely blew my mind. That down to everything was exactly where it needs to be to make you move the lease. The trash cans are bolted to the prep tables, but at the right angle where you have to bend and turn the least. Yeah. They have your computer where you work, and then they have one of those clip-on things that holds your phone right next to the computer, so you're not setting your phone down and you're constantly they save down to the second, down to the minutes, all this time. Even their Zebra printers that they use, they have the thing set up where every time they print, it automatically peels the label for you. So imagine how many seconds it takes you to peel a label. Yeah. That thing's peeling the label. And every cord that's plugged into the thing, there's a label on the cord to tell you what the cord is for, and then on the side of their labeler is multiple QR codes. All right, if you get this error message, you scan this QR code. It'll bring you to a YouTube video to tell you how to fix that error message, so you're not constantly doing stuff. Everything is angled at the right place. I've never all their long-term holds, they have set up on a shelf. They have a piece of paper printed with the size box they need to use. It'll tell you how much weight and how many items you can fit in the box, and how much void fill to use and where to put it in the box. So that way, boom, everything's done. They're shipping it in, and the systems that they have in place are insane. I think he has
Did they pay for help to get those in place, or did they figure it out themselves?
Honestly, I don't know. I just met him like this. This is the way he's always been since I've known him.
Are they using GoToLister?
No, I think they use Scam Power.
Fuck.
But
GoToLister, baby.
Yeah,
Fastest
Let's
listening
go to
software in the
Lister.
market.
Systems for sure, man.
That's GoToLister.com.
That's GoToLister.com. Fastest listening software out there in the market. I'm actually going to put a clip right now of Omer. Speaking of systems, Omer went skiing with us. Poor Omer. He was sliding down the mountain. But this man, he knows how to set up systems. We'll put a quick video of him. Have you seen his Instagram videos, Omer? Have you?
I haven't.
They're crazy. Like, he's got this book automation. It's like this automation machine where he puts all the books barcode up.
Oh, and it's scanned. Oh,
it
I know
scans.
someone that has that.
Yeah, and then it tells you if it's going to go to sell back your book or Amazon or Zipit or like what restrictedinventory.com, like whatever website it's going to be routed to, it'll automatically push. So all the employee has to do is stack the book barcode up. So like,
It's incredible.
One of my friends has that.
Yeah.
Also.
so like even like me and Taylor, I guess you too, Taylor recently negotiated prep rates 50 cents cheaper. And so if you're getting 2,000, 4,000 items prepped a month, if you can save 50 cents, that's like $2,000 back in your pocket.
Yeah,
You know.
$1 cheaper when I started with them. They
Yeah.
were $3. Now it's $1.50 FBA.
You want to talk a little bit about how people can maybe get cheaper rates? How did you approach that?
I mean, the most simplest thing is like just more volume, and a good relationship. Like, I guess there's only really two variables I can think of. Like a prep center wants clear, easy communication. Like the people that we work with or I work with, like I'm really good when they have a problem. I am responding, or my assistant is responding instantly.
Mm-hmm.
So like, it's sort of like, oh, thankfully we can move on. Cause like when they pull out my stuff to prep it, they don't want to get stuck in a problem and then have to come back to it. They want to finish the shipment. So it's like a problem comes up, I'm quick communication. And I think the second thing is like just help them move more volume. If you're gonna send in if you can send them 3,000, they're gonna be more units versus 1,000. They're gonna be more likely to give you a cheaper rate.
Yep.
So consolidate what you're doing. If you have two prep centers, use one and get better rates. If you're prepping half the stuff yourself, like send everything to the prep. So I think like give them more volume. You can't send them 200 units and expect to get a discount.
Yeah. Do you guys think that beginners should prep their own stuff, or do you think beginners should get a prep center from the get-go?
Probably a mixture between one, how much money do you have to spend, and how much time you have to invest in the business. If you've got more money than time, and you can use that time better to go find more product, and you know how to find the product, it probably could be beneficial to get a prep center. I get this question asked a lot, like, why don't you just get your own warehouse and hire help? It'd be cheaper. Like, honestly, it could be, definitely. But it's like, again, I like to keep things simple, keep the headaches and stress low. I don't have to worry about it. All my prep and all their employees, I don't have to worry about any of them. I deal with the issues and we handle the business. Boom, boom, boom. They ship everything. I don't have to deal with anything on the back end, like managing anything. I just pay my fee, boom, and we're good. And it's, again, keeps things very simple. I trust them, and they're a kick-ass prep center, and they fucking handle the business, and
managing a team of people in a warehouse.
Exactly. I couldn't even imagine.
Is an entirely
Exactly. I couldn't even imagine.
Like, you have to really want to do that.
Yeah.
I feel like a lot of people get in, sort of just get into that because they feel like, oh, I'm an Amazon seller. This is what I do, and they don't realize, it's you have to really this is what.
Yeah, that's like always like a big moment. What's his name just posted? Was it Brian that just posted his warehouse? I think Brian out of Landon did too, and Bofo were both. They both posted at the same time. I was like, wow, like they're really making moves,
It's really fucking
It's this fucking hookah. It's probably our fire that we got going.
Yes.
In the other
I know,
room.
we started a fire at 75 degrees outside right now.
All right, let's take a step back. What are both y'all's favorite part about being an Amazon seller? Like, why'd you get into this game?
I had to pay my bills. But, I started it as a hobby. One, it was a hobby, but two, it was a full-time job because I didn't have another job. But now it's honestly just for the freedom. Like, I'm still as hungry today as I was 8 years ago when I started. Like, I know you've gone shopping with me. Like, when I'm in the store, bro, I'm like a fucking kid. I'm getting excited and, like, my fucking energy, like, oh my gosh, blah, 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 blah. Like, I'm fucking just going. Like, I am so hungry. Like, the thrill of the hunt, finding deals, and just, I love this. I enjoy the shit out of this. Like, this is my dream job.
Yeah.
And so I'm still hungry.
Does
to go and
Candace
do
still
this.
help you out sometimes?
Barry does.
Barry, okay.
Yeah.
What about driving? You're gonna have to cut the clip that I explained it for last people, so they're not like.
You guys gotta go watch episode 1.
If you're confused who Barry, Candace, and Ligma are, go watch part 1.
Or just come to Miami Sellers Conference and hang out with us.
Dude, you know what we should do? We should like plan a 4 to 5 day trip, and like plan out like maybe some sellers on the West Coast.
Turn on his AC behind us.
Yeah.
Where we could like do like a sourcing trip and stop and do podcasts with each seller.
Yeah.
That would be fun as hell.
Yeah, I think a travel podcast would be dope. I've actually thought about that.
You know who's doing that? Danny Fleshman. Do you know Danny Fleshman?
Mm-mm. Well, he's like the really skinny guy, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
He just bought a really nice ass motorhome. He's just driving around the country, running his businesses as he normally is, and then like, okay, I'm in Texas. He'll set up 2 or 3 interviews for the week.
Yep.
And he has the interviews in his motorhome.
Yeah.
And it's a nice ass motorhome.
Yeah, that's dope.
And then he goes to other people, you know.
Yeah. Yeah, we should. I mean, like, we should at least plan our trap. Like, we're doing it kind of right now on like a small scale, but it's fucking hard to shoot content sometimes. Like, I was just gonna say Miami Sellers Conference, but like, honestly, that's like the last thing I would want to do at the conference.
A podcast.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Maybe like afterwards.
But what about you? Why did you? Or what was the question you asked us? Why did you get into it?
Yeah. What gets you?
What about you? Okay, so you.
For me, it was like I want to travel the world, and this allowed me to travel. And yeah, like really travel. Like I would work 10-hour days just to travel.
Just like the freedom to be able to be like, I get to go where I want when I want.
Yeah, I have this like weird innate desire to travel the world. I was actually reading a book about this, and apparently it's like genetic, like the desire to travel. It's why people like take over nations and travel to different places. Like some people are just genetically like have a predisposition to want adventure. Yeah. And I think I definitely have that. And yeah, I started living in my car doing this shit, dude. Like going to fucking Goodwills and shit. Jameson's still doing that, but
I remember he came to my house to visit me in Jersey. Right when I moved in, I didn't even have like anywhere to sleep. I think you borrowed Rakin's air mattress.
Yeah.
He came over. I didn't have towels. I didn't have anything. We had to go to Walmart and buy towels so we could shower and go hit New York. And then we came back and we got ready.
What year was this?
2019. Mm-hmm. And I forgot I never bought a shower curtain, so we had to shower without a shower curtain. But anyways, he drove to my house, and I remember getting into his car for the first time. And I'm like, it was like the dirtiest car I'd ever seen in my life. He was like, I just cleaned it yesterday.
Yeah, I was like proud of it. I was like,
and he didn't. It looked like it hadn't been cleaned in fucking.
Dude, I was actually serious. I had cleaned it the day before.
Like what? Did you just move one wrapper over to the other side?
I just threw away some trash, and I was like, "Thanks, man." Like I remember saying thank you, like actually like thinking that the car was clean.
It was awful. It was horrible.
Yeah, I agree though. I think there is a genetic thing, and I think it can be extremely isolating growing up in a family of people who don't have any desire to travel, or don't have the freedom to travel, or can't afford it. Because that was me, man. No one in my family traveled, or even had a desire. Yeah. Like, I remember, I was like, I'm gonna go to California. Like, random ass idea. I quit my job. I had like $2,000 saved up, and I invited everyone. I was like, my brothers. I had like 3 or 4 close high school friends. Everyone was like, no, like I'm working. All these excuses, and I was like, okay, I'm gonna go by myself. And dude, I felt like weird as hell, but I had this desire, and that was why I got into it was part of it was travel, but another big part of it for me was I hated when I had a job and I would go into my job. I did not feel that I could openly express how I was thinking and feeling on a moment-to-moment basis with any one of my coworkers or bosses like freely. I was like, if I said the wrong thing, my boss might not like me. I could lose my job. There was always this sense of I have to cater to the people around me. Yeah. When I started my business, I could go on Instagram and TikTok and say whatever I wanted, and no one's gonna shut me down.
Yeah.
Except TikTok. Maybe the algorithm, but I am my own boss. Yeah. And to me, I have always had this feeling in me. And it took me years to figure it out and honor that feeling.
Yeah.
But I always had this feeling like I am not going to let another human being have power over me when I don't have to.
Yeah.
That drove me more than anything.
Yeah, like none of us have fuck you money yet, but we all have a fuck you lifestyle where we can do whatever the fuck we want, you know? And so, like, while we haven't won the game yet, shout out to Book Flipper, Caleb Roth, he won the game. He's out. He literally
just don't lose it.
Retired at 35 years old. That's all of our goals is to, like, you know, retire eventually doing this, hopefully, except for Jameson. But the ability just to do whatever the fuck you want at all times, I guess that's really why I started doing it, you know? And, like, people are like, I can't believe you posted that on social media. And, like, we just posted, like, a video of me like an idiot.
What?
Just everything. Like, I'll cuss and they'll be like, man, I wish I could do that. And they actually can't do it because they would get fired from their job. Their boss would see it. Their students would see it. And so we kind of live a lifestyle where we can do whatever we want. Even though we haven't completely won the game yet, we're on our way there. And I'd say like we're living like a half fuck you money lifestyle right now. Like we're making our own money. And we're making it on our terms. And we do whatever the fuck we want.
Yeah, I think that's real freedom. That's real freedom to me. You know. ¿Cómo se dice freedom en español?
Libre, maybe?
Libre? Está libre.
Un vida libre.
But yeah, I would say that's like the first step. Who's that guy that made that like the pyramid of like human where the bottom is like physical need?
Yeah.
And then like at the top is like spiritual. Maslow's.
Is it Maslow?
Something like that. I think that's like the thing. Is like okay, it's like first as humans we need to like meet our physical needs. Are we safe? Are we protected? And then it's like emotional. You know, like we have businesses. Okay, then it's like, okay, maybe I get to meet some friends. Maybe I get to like have people, you know, have some cool experiences. And then like, okay, maybe then it's like you move up and it's like, can I start helping other people? And you kind of find an even deeper purpose in life. And yeah, I think like owning your own business allows you to it's like, it forces you to level up your own self.
Yeah.
Like if you want to grow your income, if you want to help more people, you have to be a better person.
Yeah.
You're not gonna be able to, you can't, you know?
I think people with jobs can kind of experience the same personal growth that we do because if they want to work their way up the chain, they have to be better human beings, better at their job, deliver more results. But like I was trying to explain this to a girl in Spanish the other day and I did a fucking terrible job. But I was like, I said I work probably like 6 hours a day-ish, but when I work, I said, necesito hacer dinero. Like, I need to make money.
Mm-hmm.
I need to. And I think a lot of people, when they go to their job, I'm actually kind of envious. They can just sit for 8 hours and they get their $2K paycheck every week or their $1,000 paycheck. But for us, like, our actions at work are they have a direct relationship with the money that lands in our bank account a month later.
Total responsibility.
You know? Total responsibility. So, like, you just pumped out your biggest profit month ever. That was a result of the 2 months before, you know, all the actions you took 2 months before, all the inventory you bought, all the systems you set up, the suppliers, all that. So you got to but it's delayed gratification too.
Yeah.
You know, you're not going to get this instantly. So.
I agree. God bless Hoka.
100%. Let's talk about weird strategies that maybe like a lot of people don't know about, whether it's like PPC or anything. It could be 2Ds. Like, we can literally talk about anything. What strategies, Jameson, do you think that, you know, you maybe know about that you're willing to share that a lot of people could benefit from?
I started just this last year, honestly, really focusing on small and light.
Mm-hmm.
That's as of right now. I think they're changing it, but it's like I think it's like a good portion of items that sell for $12 or under, and I think it's under like £1, somewhere in that ballpark, that get reduced fees if you set it up in your Amazon accounts.
Mm-hmm.
So like say like you buy an item for, I don't know, let's say this $3, and like it sells for 13 or 14, but then you do small and light at 12.
Yeah.
You can sometimes make more money selling it for $1 or $2.
Did you hear they're changing the small and light?
Yeah. Unfortunately, they're changing it.
Do you know the specifics of it?
I read it the other day, but I didn't.
They took it back to $10.
Okay, that's right. So yeah, that's gonna. I'll have to change my strategy.
See, I never got into that because I'm big and heavy.
Wow.
Is that the opposite? Or is it large and dark?
Oh my God.
But yeah, I focus on small and light for a lot of stuff. And as far as like just my strategy is like,
Covering your nuts. I mean,
I don't think I've ever met anybody else on Amazon that sources and that runs the business the way I do. Like it's very, very extremely niche. Where how I focus to get products, where I'll drive around the country, going to mom and pop toy stores and video game stores, and I'll find the rare products in the store, and then I'll also negotiate deals with the store on their products that have been sitting there. And I'll do buyouts sometimes where I'll spend 5 or 10K at one store and just crush it.
Yeah.
So I don't sell probably as many products as some people do, but I get 2 of my needs met is one where I can make money, and 2 I'm able to travel while I'm doing it. So it's like some days it doesn't even feel like work being able to do that. So it's like it's hard to give advice on that because like I'm just so niche down on what I do. And then I do a mixture of long-term toy holds. I do long-term Lego holds. Target recently did a huge clearance of Legos where I ran around and, hit like 9 or 10 targets, and I spent like 7 G's on 50% off Legos that I'm going to hold till Christmas or next year and then sell them and make my
That's
money.
one of my favorite things about your business model is you buy inventory that has limited stock, and so you have that security long-term that most likely a lot of people aren't going to hop on the listing.
Exactly. Exactly. So, thankfully being in the business long, and then, when I'm growing my profit and my money, I'm able to reinvest that and be able to go after products like that maybe half the sellers out there can't do. Like I could have bought all those Legos and sold them now, but I probably would have made maybe 20%, return on my investment, maybe. And it still was risky at that point because everybody's running around to do that, and then it's going to tank. So I'll just hold them till Christmas or maybe till the following year, and then I'll be able to get max value on my half off Legos, half off of retail Legos.
Right.
So that's again another niche way that I run my business is do long-term toy holds, and I do a lot of Amazon to Amazon flips that are also long-term holds where I'll buy Amazon exclusive toys that I know that are going to perform well once they sell out and they stop making it.
Right. What about you, Mr. Jones? Any weird strategies?
Yeah.
Has PPC helped you?
Oh, a little bit.
Yeah.
A little bit. I mean, I had a private label product for a little bit, that while I did PPC. Right now, I'm only spending maybe $300 to $500 on PPC to help, push sales. But I would say, like, just more of a generic answer. Like, if everyone and their mother is posting on Instagram and TikTok about selling a Nike and Adidas,
Stanley's.
Why do you think storefront stocking those people is gonna be a really hard way to make money? Because really only the top 15% of those people are gonna make them real money. The bottom half is gonna break even or lose money. So I would say be really careful selling what everyone else is selling. So it's like, okay,
100%.
well, if I'm not going to do all that, I'm not saying don't sell Nike, but I am extremely unincentivized to sell Nike because everyone and their mother's selling it. Okay, so then what do? I think just be really curious. If you're out at the grocery store or you're going through your day and you see a truck on the road or a product you've never seen, or you're hanging out with your parents and they're using this product all the time, be like, what brand is that? And like I look up random today. We're at the fireworks store. I'm scanning fireworks. I know they're not on the. I'm still curious. I'm typing random brands into Amazon all the time, just because I went hiking last weekend and I'm in a gas station and they have a commercial cleaning product and I'm typing in that brand. So I think curiosity. You squirted it.
Was that intentional?
It halfway was, and then it kind of like squirted a little more than I thought it was going to squirt.
Oh, good. I like it that way. But I think curiosity mixed with reaching out to other sellers, random suppliers, like.
Oh, do you want to talk about your Amazon seller reach out strategy? Should we tell them about that?
Well, I don't really do that, but I found a supplier by literally I was on a listing and looking at the sellers, and it said X, Y, and Z, like New York.
We'll drop the supplier below.
It said X, Y, and Z. I'm not going to say the name. Like New York. And I was like, oh, I'm from New York. So I just clicked on his profile, found his LLC in the Amazon thing, Googled his LLC, and emailed him. I spent a bunch of money with him.
Yeah,
month,
and I think that person had an LLC name that sounded more like maybe a wholesaler a little bit.
Yeah, and I didn't even have to set up an account. I just started like placing orders. It was super simple. So I think that's my answer. Being super curious about these high up, like these random ass things throughout your day, like, because if you believe that like you can make a lot of money on Amazon and you just stay curious, like, and your mind is open to looking for other opportunities, you're going to stumble into something. That is how the universe works.
Yeah.
If you have a desire and intention, you believe it's possible, it is a matter of time before you stumble into an opportunity that'll change your life.
I agree 100%.
So I take curiosity.
And speaking of that little Amazon seller reach out that I was kind of hinting at, one of our friends actually visited a bunch of Amazon sellers on the listings. So he would find their addresses, he'd reach out to them, and he like made a road trip to see all of his competitors. And yeah, it's weird, but he was able to build a network of people who have similar suppliers to him. Maybe if he gets restricted on an ASIN, he can wholesale them his products. He can network, brainstorm with them, come up with ideas, how to dominate that little sector of the industry. And I think that's kind of like a next level technique for anyone out there.
Wow, that's incredible. That's great.
Yeah. And definitely don't make your business name your IG name. Like I see people sometimes on the listing, I'm like, oh, I know that person, and just know we're storefront stalkers. We'll find you, and if you have your name out there, you just make it that much easier.
Do you think a lot of people go out of business if they took away the ability to see someone else's storefront?
No. I think we just adapt. But that would be impossible. I mean, a big strategy is just typing in, like, if you have a wholesale brand that you want to sell, just type in the name of that brand on Amazon, and the top products for that brand come up. Yeah. Like, it's a very simple strategy. Watch Me Amazon talks about that. But if you get a wholesale list and you have like 3 big brands you want to go after, just type in the brand on Amazon. And this is what he does. He just finds the top 20 ASINs, and he sends the list to the wholesaler and says, hey, can I buy these at this price? And he just sends them whatever price it would be worth it for him.
Guys, do us a favor. Avery's video editor, add a link here or a clip of Watch Me Amazon's Instagram. Guys, go send Larry a DM and ask him, are you going to be speaking at Miami Sellers Conference in January?
Yeah, let's get him there.
Guys, everyone go, Avery's video editor, clip this 30-second clip and go ask Larry if he's going to be speaking at Miami Sellers Conference.
We want you, Larry. We've been trying to get you the past 3 years. He actually committed 2 times, but I think he's
Don't make him look bad.
I think he's a little camera shy. No, he's definitely not camera shy.
Oh my gosh, I can feel you sucking on this one.
You like that?
Why do I feel like the other hookahs I've used, it didn't do that?
I know, yeah, it definitely didn't. Maybe we did something wrong.
Yeah, I'm not sure.
Should we try
error.
Should we try and find something to? I'm gonna try to find one of these to plug it up. You guys keep the pod running.
All right, sweet.
Okay, Jameson.
All right.
You're trying to get way too comfy with me, bro.
Dude, it's fucking hot as balls in this room.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah, we should do, let's do another sourcing trip. Q4.
We should, definitely. I'm game.
You want to?
Yeah.
When are we doing it?
Definitely.
I'm going to be gone.
Great podcast skills, guys.
Question: pancakes or waffles?
Waffles.
Avery,
Actually,
pancakes or waffles?
Actually, it depends. If they're chocolate chip pancakes, pancakes.
Pancakes.
But if it's plain,
Pancakes are one of my favorite foods.
if it's plain, I'm going to go with waffles.
Okay. Vacation or staycation?
What's a staycation?
Like where you kind of go on like a little thing close to home.
Like, would this be considered a staycation? Or?
I would lean towards yeah. For you, yeah. For us, for me, it's a vacation.
I don't know. I guess both.
Okay. All right.
When I take a vacation, I try to stay there long. I try not to I adopt to your philosophy, like, and make my life something that's.
That you don't
I'm
need a
not
vacation
trying
from.
to get away from.
Yeah.
That's why, like, when I travel, instead of going somewhere for 5 days and spending $10 grand on the fucking resort, I'll go somewhere for a month and a half. I'll find something that's a budget option.
Yeah.
I'll spend less money, but I'll stay there longer, and then I can make my lifestyle a vacation.
100%.
You know, and work, buy away, wholesale, remotely. You know.
could go a lot of different directions here. We could focus on OA, cashback, Q4 strategies, or we could talk about whatever the fuck we want to talk about.
Let's do it.
I kind of want to talk about lighting off the rest of those fireworks tomorrow. Guys, Avery's video editor, can we throw some more clips of Avery?
Oh, fuck! You holding that thing? Are you, Avery, put up... Oh, my... America!
Yo, you're a savage. So you guys...
I'll send all the videos to you guys where Avery took a pack of firecrackers and he threw it inside the fireplace and let them off and then closed the door.
So we had never done that growing up. You guys have bought fireworks a lot.
Yeah. Growing up, we always did stuff like that. And when your brain's not developed, you'll just hold the firework way too long.
What? It's still not right.
No, 25. I think it's fully developed, right?
You think so?
I think mine's still developing.
I differ after today.
I mean, mine just never got all the way developed. My dad thinks I have a part of my fear brain missing. I don't think that's true. I'm not as crazy as. Have you guys seen Alex Honnold?
I think you're just more risk. What's it when you're risk averse or
risk tolerant?
You're yeah.
Yeah, I think I still feel fear, but you guys seen Alex Honnold?
No, I haven't.
He climbed in Yosemite.
Oh, yep, I've seen this guy.
Yeah, he climbed, and I think it's one of the most admirable things to do. He climbed and some people think he's a fucking idiot, but he climbed, I don't know how many feet it was, but it's the biggest solo summit anyone's ever done. And I think there's something really honorable about putting yourself out there, taking a risk. And it's kind of running a business. It's the same fucking thing. We're all taking risk. We're all out here fucking potentially subjugating ourselves to financial ruin,
You know what?
I'm not risking my life to grab that extra toy on the side of the mountain.
There's nothing that makes me feel more alive than opening up 5 credit cards.
I thought you were about to say 5 fireworks.
It makes me feel alive. I appreciate the risk. I think Jordan Peterson talks about this. Chaos and order. And it's like a wave, and if you're surfing and you get too far in front of the wave, it'll crash on you and it'll destroy you. You could die. That's like you taking too much risk, and then too much order. If you don't go into the wave enough, you'll miss it and you won't ride it at all. It's the perfect balance, right? You get right in it and you're moving just enough where you can ride it all the way in. You're totally safe, and I think that is the perfect analogy to chaos and order. And taking on enough risk, and that's why you asked me earlier. You're how big do you want to go? And it's well, as big as possible, but in a way that's still treading that line of chaos and order. So it's as you gain the experiences, you gain more confidence. So I can ride it as a wave. I don't want to get to 5 million and then have everything collapse. Yeah. Because that's what look what happened to Pharma Packs. They were get as big as possible. I want to get big, but slowly and intelligently. Yeah. So.
Yeah. I think there's so many ways to build an Amazon business risk averse. I think merchant fulfilling is a huge one. If you guys ever come across a massive opportunity, I know I look back and I could have literally made $500,000 on some of these opportunities that we came across. If I would have gotten in early enough and I could have taken on outside capital, I could have merchant fulfilled everything. Therefore, Amazon can't throw away my shit. Stuff sells fast. And I think kind of what we're doing now is we've learned over the years, you and I we've seen a few of these, and now when they come around, we're okay, let's really get the fucking bag on this. And I personally think that's how we'll create a ton of wealth from our Amazon businesses, is just having that eye developed over time and not making the same stupid mistakes we made before. Not loading Amazon up with a fuck ton of inventory and then have Amazon throw it all away, because that happens, it happens
Get your account shut down.
Far too often than it happens to the big Amazon sellers. So I think merchant fulfilling and doing everything possible to mitigate your risk is always fucking good.
Avery, what should everyone watching know about GoToLister, and why is it the best software out there?
GoToLister is factually the fastest listing software on planet Earth right now. We're the only software that allows you to scan as many items as you want. We queue everything up, and then Amazon takes their slow ass time to return the response to you. So Jameson, I was showing it to him the other day. He doesn't really care about that because he's an online arbitrage, retail arbitrage guy. But for booksellers, if you're selling books out there and you have a bunch of different SKUs, it's the fastest listing software. We have smart pricing. We allow you to price your items higher.
Yo, one time I did that, and I did it too far, and then I had like the biggest knot down my neck for like 4 days, and I was like walking around. But
How did you learn to do that neck crack?
I don't even know. I really don't.
You must have seen like an idol of yours do it.
Yeah, I don't know. But okay, is GoToLister better than Inventory Lab right now?
In certain ways, yes. It's superior. It's faster.
Why should people okay? Let's say that people are watching this. They're using Inventory Lab. Why should they switch to GoToLister?
Well, number one, you'll just save $20 a month. You'll get locked in for our lifetime pricing. For everyone that signs up for GoToLister now, you get in at lifetime pricing. We're working on profit analytics. We have profit analytics, but we're working on making them the best possible. Talking to these guys here, they want to know exactly what their inventory is worth, not what Inventory Lab says they've listed, but what. Hopefully, Inventory Lab's not watching this because they'll fucking implement this. But like all the FBA stock you have and all the MF stock you have, we want to create a calculation that says, hey, Taylor, you have $250,000 worth of inventory. It's an expected $180,000 payout, and you paid $130,000 for it, you know? And I'm even thinking, hopefully Dom's capable of this, but some artificial intelligence that could kind of maybe project your growth in the future based on how many items you're listing. We're doing a seller amp integration soon. So it'd be really cool if it saw how many times you source products every day. And it's like based on the work you're putting in now, we think you're going to have a $30K profit month in the future. I think that would be cool. That might be like a little like out there.
Motivational.
Yeah. So yeah, that's GoToLister has a lot. If you guys want a free trial, just use the code. What should we make the code?
Just click the link in the description, which says.
No, in every podcast I do a code though. Let's do Jones or Jameson.
Or how about JJ the jet plane? Jameson Jones. JJ the jet plane.
JJ. Let's use the code JJ. Support at GoToLister.com. If you send us JJ, we'll give you a 1 month free trial. Just tell them that Romer said so on the pod, and we'll extend your trial 1 month versus 14 days.
Code JJ/Tooties.
Or Tooties. Either code will work good. So.
Okay, cool. Gotta go. Bye.
All right. What should we talk about? Day 2 of the pod, boys.
Day 2.
Day
You know,
two,
this
what
is
is it?
honestly fun. You know what I like? I like doing this Airbnb thing. You know what I think would be really cool? To do a few of these, maybe one a quarter, where we get like an Airbnb in Miami, an Airbnb in LA, an Airbnb, right? And we pick cities where there's 2 to 4 other sellers that we know. We get an Airbnb for a few days, line up sometimes, hang out with everyone, and
This is where the magic happens.
a couple pods.
Magic
you know?
happens at the Airbnbs.
I feel like that'd be really cool. I would make that happen.
You get to see how people handle adversity when they light fireworks and shit. Like, are they scared? Or are they lighting that shit and running with
Avery
it? You know?
took freaking, what were those things? And he put them in the freaking
Firecrackers.
Oh my god, dude.
We'll clip that too.
That's crazy.
Other things that they need to know as beginners and as intermediate sellers, they want to go to the next level. What are some things they definitely need to do?
Sorry guys, it's late here. It's past midnight. It's 1 in the morning, guys. We're trying to keep this going.
Is it really one?
Yeah, it's 1.
Oh shit.
No, it's okay. Other things that people need to know. What was the question?
Yeah, like just other things. Like there's younger versions of you out there. Little Taylor Jones watching this, and they're like, "Come on, say something, help me."
Yeah.
They want the magic sauce. Is there magic sauce?
I think the magic sauce is an inner battle. We were talking about this. I think, and we talked about this in part 1. I'm going to repeat it for part 2. I think the game is genuinely more of an inside game. I really do. And I felt this actually a lot when I was doing RA. You'd go into a store. You must have had days where you're not feeling good, or you're angry, or you're doubting yourself. You go into a store, you don't find anything.
He's like, yeah, that's every day of my life.
Wow.
So why is that? And I didn't notice this until 4 months in, where I was like, holy shit. The days that I'm in a good mood,
Yeah.
I'm finding 5x the profit.
Yeah.
And what I started to realize is the more time that I can work on myself and, do stuff like this, be around other sellers that are doing more than me, come up, read books and work out and take care of myself. When I'm in a better mood, I can make more money in less time.
Mm-hmm.
And I think a lot of people, I feel like, get lost in like the strategy of like, you know, it's like, yo, if you feel good and you believe in this opportunity, and you get your inside game right, you're gonna be able to make all the money.
Yeah, and be careful with that though, because like the goal isn't to feel good all the time. But I think you can subjectively reward yourself for effort, just like David Goggins does. He talks about this all the time. David Goggins, he's like, you know, run 4 miles, even when you don't fucking feel like it. You know, like 4 miles every 4 hours. And I think if you're willing to, you know, get up and source and put time in your Amazon business, and when you don't feel like it, you kind of pat yourself on the back a little bit and say you're doing the right fucking shit. That's what keeps me going. Like when I feel like shit and I still work anyway, there's part of my brain that lights up that's like, you're doing this right. And if you don't have that neural loop and you're like, I don't feel good, you know, I should feel good, I'm running my business, then you might just quit. But realize like 80% of the days of the year you might actually not feel great. But being able to take action anyway and reward yourself. Something weird that David Goggins does, he's got like some sick stories, but he talks about like how he'll be at the bottom of the pool during Navy SEALs training, and he'll like want to breathe really bad, and like his stomach will be like doing that shit that, you know, you have to breathe. And he says like at a certain point his brain just realizes his mind he's not going to stop. His body realizes his mind's not going to stop, and then he just entered this like calm state. And Andrew Huberman talks about David Goggins is able to access that state because he subjectively rewards himself for doing hard things. So he tells himself like, yeah, this is fucking hard. This is the hardest part of my day. This is the hardest part of the training. That's where it starts. And so he restarts it in his head, you know. And
he turns this difficult experience into something that's positive.
Yeah.
Yeah.
100%. And so do the fucking hard work even when you don't feel like it. Let's talk a little bit about Miami Sellers Conference. Let's do a little Miami Sellers Conference brainstorm right now. We got some feedback last year that maybe it should be 2-day event in the venue, but me and Taylor really like partying and we like the yacht. So
And we like this hookah.
let us know what you guys think. Should day 2 be on the yacht? What do you think, Jameson?
Honestly, I truly love the way it is. Like, I personally get burnt out when there's like 2 days of like, you know, speaking and all that. Like, I lose interest after a day.
I agree.
You know, and honestly, there's some conferences where I lose interest halfway through.
Mm-hmm.
Like, if there's stuff that keeps me intrigued and glued to the conference, I can do one whole day. And then I love having the next day, looking forward to partying. But then still, like, honestly, I've learned more getting drunk with Amazon sellers than I have at conferences. Now, they're both great. They both go hand in hand. But I learned so much getting drunk and taking shots with my Amazon friends on the yacht or at the after parties.
I agree. Yeah. You know what it is? Because it's like it's less formal.
Exactly. You can build like better connections with people, and like
honestly, you build more trust.
Exactly, because like honestly, like that's kind of like, you know, you're more relaxed. A lot of Amazon sellers I feel are very introvert. Like, it's a lot of like, you know, Amazon sellers are generally nerdy for the most part.
Hey, what's he talking about?
And
hey, come on.
Ooh, excuse me.
We're nerds.
And they're more introverts, so it's like, you know, you have a drink, you're a little more open.
Why are you touching me?
But no, I've learned so much, you know, networking and just hanging out at little after parties and stuff, the yacht and all that, and you kind of just find your clique and who you hang out with. And honestly, some of my best friends are people that I've already even met at the Miami Seller Conference. You know, I made great friends with people. I've gone to people's houses, stayed at their houses, visited their warehouses.
Yeah.
I've had some of my friends that I've met there. I've been traveling on my travels and I've been overstuffed with inventory. I've dropped it off at their warehouse. Them and their employees have shipped it out for me.
That's awesome.
And it's all from connections that I made at the Miami Seller Conference. So
yeah.
I know it's a long answer, but yes, I like the 1-day event. Boom, you fucking get all the speakers, you get all the fucking good knowledge in, and then boom, we get a whole fucking day to have fun and just fucking do our thing.
Would you say like most of the relationships you make, the times you make them?
It's always nice to talk about Amazon a little bit, but honestly, I'd probably say I spend 75% of the time just fucking around, goofing off, having fun. Like,
yeah.
I'm just there to have a good time, and then it's like, we can have fun, we can fuck around, we can exchange information, and then we can talk later, you know, like, one, and also too with that the benefits to me to doing that is going hand in hand is that I travel so much, so like, I may meet 20 or 30 people at the Miami Seller Conference, and I guarantee you over the next fucking 2 months, I'm going to travel and probably cross paths with 4 or 5 of them.
Yeah.
I'll always take time out of my day to try to go meet people.
Yeah,
Even
I think
though if I'm
that's actually like one of your really good strengths is like you're good at building relationships with a lot of the community because you're like not the biggest on social media, but people who know you like they know you well. Like, oh yeah, Jameson, you know, because like and Caleb was like this too. Actually, Caleb Roth, the book flipper, he spends like hours talking to so many sellers, and I didn't realize it. Like so many people I talked to are like, yeah, he would call me and we would talk, and I think that's like a hallmark of a successful entrepreneur is your network is so deep, and I think a lot of people can't build those deep connections via social media. You know, and I'm not saying you have to go to Miami Sellers Conference or any conference you do.
I am.
You have to go.
No, I am
Yeah,
definitely.
you actually have to go. Actually,
Like, if you don't go, like, are you really serious?
probably not. But yeah, I think that's one of your strengths.
Thank you.
Taylor, I think one of your strengths is you're a party animal. In a weird way, though, like there's something weird about like being good at something. Like Reezy Resell's got respect for you off the stupidest shit. Taylor does a side flip, and Reezy's like, and we called Reezy from Taylor's phone like a year ago. He's like, who the fuck called me? He's like, don't ever have that motherfucker call me again. And then Taylor does a side flip at Miami Sellers Conference. He's like, yo, bro, what's up? Like, you know, got respect for him like instantly.
Yeah, it's interesting how that works, you know.
Yeah, so just be yourself, and
I
you'll
agree.
attract the people.
That's just the best thing you can do. Be yourself. I need about a shot of espresso right now.
Yeah, buddy. You got your claws empty?
No,
Oh, okay. All right.
hey, I'll take any of that.
What else would be valuable for the people that I'm not thinking about right now?
Let's see.
Real quick, to wrap up Miami thoughts. Networking Friday night's definitely amazing.
Yep.
Like going to a bar. There is something nice about alcohol, you know.
Yeah.
It like loosens you up a little bit. I haven't had a drink in fucking
The Airbnb
4
too,
months.
I think is really good too.
Mm-hmm.
That's
yeah.
fun, and I like that there was 2 Airbnbs because one, if you get too many people in a house, sometimes it's hard to connect. I liked having the 2, so then you can have that more intimate time with the handful of people.
You were on South Beach, or you were.
No, it was with you.
Yeah.
Yeah. We had Kingpin.
I'm glad you liked that. Yeah.
That was fun, it was cool. It worked out great, and like I was able to hang out the first night, the Friday night, like 6, 7 of us stayed up till like 4 in the morning. And we were on the porch having drinks. We ordered Taco Bell, Uber Eats. We played frickin' credit card roulette. And Nate was hanging over the banister, just letting it all out. And he snapped that picture, and then I used that picture in my
Dude,
speech.
Him and his friends go hard.
Yeah, they do. They go hard.
I
They're
went
good.
to hang out with them in Austin. I
Yep.
was like, holy crap. I had 3 beers. I'm like, I'm good. And they were just going.
Yeah, they go hard. They go
all
hard.
day, dude.
One thing I will add, I know we were going to jump into, like, for a lot of people that do RA or that's new to RA, like, continue to learn that product. But like one thing that I noticed too, like with doing RAs, like I could go to 5 or 6 stores and I may only spend a couple $100 between those stores on a bad day. But I know the harder that I work, the luckier I get. I know over time.
God bless.
If I off the past data or stores that I've shopped at, I know over time I'm going to make money, I'm going to find product, and I'm going to grow my business doing this. I may go to 50, there's been times I've gone to like 12 stores in one day, and it's like, by the time I get home, I spent under $1,000.
Yeah.
Which, some people could be like, boom, I spent 10 grand in 08 like that in 30 minutes,
I think a mistake some people can make is having spend goals daily, like 3,000 a day, and they're going to spend 3,000 every day. And so they cap themselves on the days where they should spend 30,000, and they stretch themselves to reach the 3,000 goal when they should spend nothing.
Yeah,
exactly.
I've seen a really awesome. I don't think it's The Big Short. It's like one of those movies.
It's a good movie.
It's one of those movies. It's like a trader movie, and they clip the audio and they put it on like this motivational video, and he's like, some days I make 10 trades, other days I'll go weeks without making a single trade. I think the smartest people understand that.
Yep.
Yeah.
They realize that like some weeks, we have little opportunity that passes us, but we really, all we can control is the time that we put out looking for opportunity.
Yep.
You can't go gold. I don't know a good analogy. You can only control the effort that you put in and,
Yep.
and the strategy. But it's like, when you're fishing, you wait for the fish to bite, right?
Mhm.
And it's like, yeah, I think you need to be. It's a skill to be able to be okay with going a certain period of time and not spending a crazy amount of money. And then when the big opportunities do come, like you said, not being afraid of swiping the card for 30K.
Yep, 100%. Nassim Taleb talks about that. Nassim Taleb's got some great books, but he says the news should be one sentence some days. Some days the news should only be one paragraph. But some days it should be a whole book. And the problem with the news is they're 1 hour or 8 hours every single day.
Yeah.
And so what happens is they have to fill it with fluff because that's their job.
And that
you know?
fluff just so happens to be fear instigating high emotional response content.
Because that's what keeps people coming back and watching. Like, what should I be scared of now? What's the next thing
Well,
to be
if
scared
you're
of?
watching this, you should be scared of Taylor Jones _official on Instagram and TikTok. Can I get a hole? Yeah.
We should also get people to DM Taylor Jones and tell him to post more. He hasn't
You know
posted.
what? Hey, guess what? If I pull up my WhatsApp, let me show you this.
You're scared. You scared me. I thought you were gonna pull something else out.
Guess what? You pull up my WhatsApp right now, and you go to Jen. Guess what? I sent her the Google Drive, and I sent her Opus Pro.
Oh, nice. Yeah, yeah.
Look, use this website to make clips of me.
Tell her to
Upload
good.
this to my YouTube. And look, she needs my login and stuff. Okay, so
Yeah.
I'm on it, guys.
Tell
Taylor
her-
Jones is coming back.
Tell
Clip
her.
that.
Tell her she'll also need to. What I was about to say. Forgot.
So I'm gonna give her a bonus. Any clip that gets more than 3,000 views, she gets $10.
Yeah. Tell her she'll also need to use like 5 different email accounts because they only give you 3 clips per email.
Okay, well, how much is it to just pay for it?
I don't know yet. I just started using it the other day, but I got like 12 email accounts I'm going through.
Are you serious? Why don't you just pay for it?
I'm testing it out, bro. I do this with every software. People should do it with GoToLister. When you start out, don't commit to it. Take the free trial if you don't.
Do
If
you
you're not
let
sure
people
yet.
pay annually with GoToLister?
Not yet. It's coming soon.
I was gonna say, dude, you should do that.
If you guys DM us code Jones, we'll attribute anybody who signs up for an annual plan will give Taylor Jones 20%, and we will create an annual plan instantly. I'm serious.
My goal is to make $5,000 a month from GoToLister affiliates.
Nothing.
Was I supposed to say something?
All right, boys. This is episode 2 of Romer's Pod. We're gonna wrap it up. We might shoot episode 3 if we're feeling frisky, but
I think we should shoot it early in the day because I'm not falling asleep.
Yeah.
go follow these two on YouTube. I'll link both their YouTubes below.
YouTube,
And
Instagram, Facebook.
Instagram, Facebook.
TikTok.
I'll link all their socials.
OnlyFans.
Video editor, if you could link their socials below. Jameson Philippi, Taylor Jones.
Thank you.
All right,
Awesome,
guys.
awesome.
Much
Awesome,
love.
awesome.
Catch you in the next pod.
Peace.
Yo, let's get those bacon cheese!